What's up, everybody? I am joined by Queen Elizabeth's favorite BMX rider, Mr. Declan Brooks. Declan has officially been named as the man that will represent Great Britain in the Tokyo Olympics. Declan, now that that's officially official, how does it feel?
Oh, it feels amazing, mate. Thanks for having me on here, first of all. But yeah, just to get the news out and tell everyone, I'm just buzzing, absolutely buzzing. It's been three hard years of like grafting at the World Cups and getting all our points, and yeah, it seems like it's all worth it now.
Well, Declan, congratulations. You definitely earned this spot. And I want to touch more on the Olympic journey, but one thing I specifically want to talk about first was that incredibly bad double backflip crash in France. When I was sitting at home and I saw that crash, I had two thoughts. Thought number one was, I hope Declan's okay. And thought number two was, I hope Declan's going to be okay for the Olympics. Now, obviously, it looks like you are going to be okay for the Olympics, but how bad was that crash?
Well, it was pretty bad to the average eye, because it was the crowd were all sitting there, and it did look pretty bad. But coming out of it, I'm back riding now, all good. So the worst thing was just to get over the concussion, which took about a week. So we're like 2 weeks out now, 2 weeks past the crash. So no, feeling pretty good, mate. Yeah.
So I know double flips are kind of a newish trick for you, and you seem to have them on lock. Does this change your relationship with double flips at all, or are you back to business as usual?
Yeah, no, back to business, mate. Just literally, as soon as I got back, I was like, I know exactly what I did wrong. So I just basically said I need to come back, get fitter, start doing some runs and putting them in at the end back at home, which I was actually doing before, but yeah, I just got it wrong on the day. Just popped more up instead of actually pulled back for the flips. I remember rotating around in it and thinking, oh, I know this is going to be tight, but I hope this is good. And yeah, and obviously don't remember hitting the floor. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I got back, just get straight back to them, and business as usual.
Well, that's good to hear. That was a super scary crash, so I'm happy that you're bouncing back and seem to be in good spirits about the trick itself, because you're very good at them.
Yeah.
So, Declan, I've been covering your riding for a very long time. I think the first time you had a video on Vital, you were probably 16. I think it was your first trip to the United States. So I've been watching you ride for a very long time. You've always been a very good BMX rider, but I feel like somewhere along this Olympic journey, you became a great BMX rider. I feel like you really took your riding to the next level. Assuming you agree with me, is that kind of a conscious decision? Did something really light a fire under you here? Or is this just natural progression and you're just getting into your athletic prime here and it's just the way it worked out?
Yeah, thanks for that compliment, mate. But yeah, no, I think since the whole coronavirus thing happened, it was around about then my riding just went crazy. I just had this whole new progression that just learned loads of new tricks that I hadn't even thought about really doing before. Because everyone knows I can kind of ride a course quite well, but there was just a few things missing, like the big tricks. Which I could do a couple, but that was still a big downfall in my riding. So I basically just went to work in lockdown and just thought, right, let's just get 3 or 4 just big tricks, and then my riding can kind of do its own thing in the contest. As long as I've got those stock tricks, I think it'll be a big factor for getting up there on the podium.
So speaking of the pandemic, I know there were some pretty serious lockdowns in the UK. How did you manage to continue progressing over the past year when you really didn't have access to all the same things you would normally have access to?
Well, the first sort of 3 months, yeah, we didn't ride at all. And then we kind of got back to our usual routine. We could get in the indoor parks, which was real lucky actually, because they were still shut. But yeah, we kind of just got in there and just hit the foam pits and hit the resis. As funny as it is, that's how you learn these big tricks in like a safe environment. So we just kind of hit them for a while, got them good, and then took them to wood. But yeah, it's pretty basic. I'm just going to work really.
So when it comes to Team Great Britain, I think it was pretty clear early on that for the ladies, Charlotte was the obvious choice. She seemed to pull way ahead of the pack quickly. Her progression rate's been insane. For the men, you did not have a path that was similar to that. It was very competitive until the last second, and you were up there against guys with very, very, very high riding levels similar to your own, guys like Ben Wallace, Alex Colborn, James Jones, Jack Clark. What was it like traveling with those guys, them being your comrades, but also competing against them? And did that ever get weird at all for you?
No, it never got weird really. We all did want each other to do well, and we kind of just we're kind of like a real family now. We've got a really good team bond, and that's the thing I do love about our team when we go away on these trips. We all have such a good connection. But yeah, we want each other to do well. Obviously, it's a competitive environment, but we know that, and it's just best man on the day.
That makes sense, and it's a good crew of guys. I can't think of a better group to be traveling around with, so that makes sense. But when it comes to actually selecting you for the position, did Team GB have any sort of criteria, or did they just kind of pick who they thought was the best pick to go out and win a gold medal?
Yeah, it was pretty much just they look at all the things like previous contests, the points. Obviously, I was first point scorer for us as well. It was quite tight though, but then we did run little contests through the pandemic, just kind of between the riders. But that was just good for ourselves to see where we were at as a rider as well. It wasn't more to see who's the best. It was more just to keep us going and like pushing towards something. Because at one point it just felt like nothing was going to open up, which was also good to go into our first proper contest, being the Worlds. But yeah, there was no criteria wise. They just kind of look at everything and you as a rider and how much you've progressed and who's in form.
Which makes sense, and I know one of those guys making that decision is BMX legend Jamie Bestwick, and I think Jamie Bestwick's involvement in Team Great Britain is one of your best assets. How exactly, what's it been like working with Jamie, and what are some of the things you've taken from his experience?
Oh, mate, it's been an absolute godsend. We couldn't have asked for a better coach, better guys to hang out with. He's part of the family now, and he's took us in, especially me and Charlotte, took us under our wing pretty much, and we go out to America, to his house at Woodward, and his family is so nice. They take us in, look after us. But yeah, what a bloke! What a bloke! You can do every trick, and that's the thing. He's done pretty much most tricks. So if you're working on something and it's not quite working, he'd be like, try this, which a lot of coaches wouldn't be able to do because they've never kind of done it or it's never kind of been there. But yeah, he can just be there for you. It's good, mate.
In addition to teaching you tricks, I think one of Jamie's best attributes is the fact that he is such a great competitor, and he's been there on the biggest stages with the most stress, and he's delivered time and time again. Has he been able to transfer any of that knowledge to you as far as how you make it happen when you need to make it happen?
Well, yeah, when we have our camps at Woodward, we go there, we go down, and it's all pretty intense. Like we try and make it like a camp environment. So you go out, you train in the morning at the gym, you do some yoga, like a proper athlete's day almost. And then we go to the park, just bang out all our tricks, start putting them in lines. It's nothing new that anyone's never done before. But it's just about getting in a positive mindset in a positive couple of weeks. Especially as over here in the UK at the moment, it's like through the pandemic, it was pretty hard and stuff got quite negative. So to go into a positive environment and just ride, that was the best.
We're probably about 1 month out before you actually head to Tokyo to compete. How exactly are you getting ready over these next few weeks? Is there anything that's changing on your end? Are you just riding like normal, or what exactly is your approach in this final stretch here?
Yeah, we're just getting back to it. Obviously, I've only been riding back a week again, but it didn't take long to get back into the swing of things. So yeah, we're just going as normal, just banging our tricks out every day, and yeah, that's about it, really, mate.
Are you riding at Corby? Is that your main spot, or where are you training to get ready on the bike?
So Corby and Asylum, we kind of switch between the two because at Corby the foam pit's not open. Even though we're not like crazy learning all these new tricks, but it's nice to just have it there if you're feeling it and you need it. So yeah, Corby and Asylum.
So with the Olympics coming up, I'm sure you have a lot of goals here. Is your main goal to take home a gold medal? Do you just want to get a medal in general? Do you just want to do a performance you're happy with? What are you setting your sights on when you get to Tokyo?
Well, I think I've just got to build the best run I possibly can, and whatever that will get me on the day will be great, I'm sure. And if it's the run that I kind of want to do, it should get me a medal. But you know what it's like. Anyone on the day, there's 9 guys there. They could all take a medal home, and that's that's kind of where BMX is at the moment. There's not really a favourite. You could kind of say, oh, these guys will probably get on the podium, but we've seen in these World Cups lately, it doesn't work like that. It's just about doing my best run on the day and getting it all right. Who can hold their ground as well. It's a big occasion, you know.
I definitely agree, and I think the mental game is going to be the most difficult part of this whole competition with such a small field, and as you mentioned, so many riders are capable of taking the win. Those 9 guys, in addition to the next 10 guys down the lineup that aren't even there. You know, there's a lot of incredible riders.
Exactly.
All of which could win. If you did happen to take home that gold medal, what would that mean to you?
Well, first it would mean a gold post box in my street at home, which would be pretty cool. But other than that, it would just to go it's meant the world to my family and the world to me. We never expected to be in this situation, even 3 years ago. But yeah, taking home a medal would be crazy. It'd be the icing on the cake.
Tell me more about this gold post box.
Oh, so I think within the UK we get these post boxes, and it's like a Royal Mail thing. And if you win a gold medal, they paint the closest one to your house all gold, because they're all red normally. So if you see one, it's like pretty weird. You'd be like, what's that then? But it's just a joke we have in my family. They're like, well, you got to bring home a gold because we want a gold post box.
So is it gold the rest of your life, or is it just gold until the next Olympics?
Yeah, no, it's gold. It stays gold. Yeah.
Have you seen one?
I've never seen one. No, I've never drove past one or anything like that. So they're pretty uncommon.
That's pretty exciting. I didn't know about that, and that's something I don't think any other country is offering their athletes. So I'd like to see you take home that gold post box just so I can see one in person. Declan, I know it's about 7 p.m. out there. I'm sure you have better things to do than talking to me. Any final thoughts you want to get off your chest here?
No, I just want to say thanks to all my family back at home and my girlfriend for supporting me in the last couple of years. It's been a pretty bumpy road. Thanks to British Cycling, as always, for getting us out there and putting us to new heights. Thanks for you for doing this interview with me, mate. Thank you.
Declan, congratulations on making the spot. I can't wait to see you ride out there. Godspeed.